Good day, good people. Michelle Dawes-Bird here, and we welcome you to Real Chicks Rock Presents Real Discussions. As always, I'm super excited to be here. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood here in Atlanta, Georgia. It's actually warmer today because it was cold yesterday. So it's a nice day. Feels like about 45 degrees. Forgive us, we are spoiled. If we get too many days where it's cold, we're like, we want to move. Like, this is Atlanta, it's supposed to be warm. So we're thankful that the sun is shining. It's just a really nice day. There's just a lot of things going on in the air, a lot unfortunate news with Tyree Nichols. Unfortunately, his funeral was held this week. We send our condolences and prayers to his family and to his loved ones and all those that have been impacted by the loss of his life. But we are here today, and we're here to bring some sunshine wherever we can. And my guest looks like sunshine. She is so beautiful. I am so excited to have her. Yes, this has been in the making for, I want to say, a couple of years.
Definitely.
But we are here. But thanks to all the new listeners, we want to thank everyone that's taking time to lean in and to listen to what we're all about. Let me give you a little background. Real Chicks Rock is all about creatively collaborating to connect and raise awareness regarding issues that impact women. And we do it by way of community service engagement. We do it by public speaking, mentoring, workshops, and the arts. And we have been doing this platform here, as I told my nice guest here. This is our 7th season, and April will be 8 seasons long that we've had some interesting, informative, and entertaining people, and today is no different. My topic today is Rhonda Thomas Sings, and I have the incomparable butterfly songbird, Rhonda Thomas. Hi.
Hi, Michelle.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks for being here. Yeah, like I said, we've been trying to do this for a while, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad because you're a busy lady.
Yeah, but never too busy for you.
Well, no, I know, because I see you, and I see you on the stage, and I wave, I support.
You're at all the events.
I try. Yeah, I'm on the pulse. I did miss the Christmas, but I'm not going to miss anymore. And that one was sold out, and we'll talk about that. Okay. But I want to talk about a little bit. Where are you from?
I'm from Roosevelt, Long Island.
Is that right?
Strong Island, yes. 1 square mile.
1 square mile, Roosevelt Island.
Yes, Roosevelt, Long Island.
Long Island. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How often you get the chance to go home?
I was just there last summer for our class reunion. I actually got to perform for our class reunion. So that was a special treat.
Nice.
There's a warm spot in my heart for Roosevelt. That's where everything started.
Everything started. Tell me about the neighborhood. What was the music like for you as a kid growing up?
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna date myself.
No, it's all right. You don't look nothing like you're gonna say.
Okay. I mean, everybody my age, it was all about the Kangos, the Gazelles. The Gazelles, definitely. We were playing hopscotch, double dutch, marbles, jacks. I think I could get
Skelsies. Did you do Skelsies?
What's Skelsies?
Oh, bottle tops, and you put like gum and some dirt in it to have some weight, and you shoot Skelsies. It's like like doing hopscotch, but with a bottle top.
I kind of slightly remember that, but I don't think we did that in my little crew.
Okay.
We had the candy store at the corner where I would get my blow pops because that's like 2 candies in one because you had the gum inside. So
I was a blow pop girl too. Yeah, it was nice.
Right?
It's like 10 cents for the blow pop back then. I'm aging myself. Yeah.
It's true though.
Yeah, it was true. It's true. Did the girls put them in their hair when they had the ponytails? Okay, all right. That's what we were doing. We had a whole different vibe in the Bronx, girl. I think that LL Cool J was singing about us when he's singing Around the Way Girls, because we had the blow pops and the hoop earrings.
We had the door-knocker earrings.
Yes.
Definitely. But we didn't put,
they put the 2 little blow pops in there. Anyway, we digress. So, for your neighborhood, so what was the music you were listening to at that time?
Hip-hop, DeBarge, Public Enemy.
Of course.
I mean, that was later on.
Yeah.
From Roosevelt. So, Guy is from Roosevelt.
Really?
Howard Stern is from Roosevelt.
Okay, we'll let that sit.
Right.
Okay, all right. You have a lot of iconic people from Long Island, that area.
Was the music. I remember Unlimited Touch. Do you know?
Yeah.
I hear the music in the street. Yes, I hear the funky beat.
And I get down. it down. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that was nice. Down. I used to roller skate to that.
Right?
That was awesome.
Roller skating. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
With the pom-poms on the skates. Roosevelt roller rink. I forgot about that. So that basketball, handball. I did not play handball though because I felt like my hands could not take that.
Yeah.
My hands are delicate.
Uh-oh.
Can't be.
Uh-oh.
We had the skating rink.
Yeah.
We swam. We had a pool there, but basketball was the thing.
Did you come into the city alive from Long Island as a kid, hanging out on 42nd and Times Square and all that stuff?
I actually danced. My mom had us
really?
The cultural aspects of New York. So I danced with the Dance Theater of Harlem and the Alvinelli Children's Company.
Good for you.
Every Saturday we were there.
What was the age group? How old were you? Can you remember? Teenagery, preteen? Preteen. And in Roosevelt, I actually went to Public Enemy. Yeah.
I'm sorry, my brain is fried. So Chuck D's mother, Mrs. Reinhauer, had a performing arts school. And so I was part of that unit. There. And that was pretty cool. I played Paddington Bear.
Isn't that cute?
She lives in Atlanta now. So I've seen her a few times and we've talked about that. She was like, "You're my star pupil." I was like, okay, Paddington Bear. I guess I had it down.
Yeah.
What else? Dickerson Performing Arts Center. That was in Freeport, which I was 2 doors down from Freeport. So my walk to Roosevelt was long. Like it was probably that 1 square mile all the way to that school.
Wow.
And what was the other spot? I can't remember it, but I'll remember it as we keep talking.
So you've always been in the culture, like culturally, like a dancer, loving music. Were you singing at this age too, Rhonda?
I was. I started singing. I remember now, Adele Johnson.
Okay.
That was the dance school. And that's where, I guess I started singing there because I was tap dancing and doing modern art and jazz, and they wanted me to sing a song, "I Enjoy Being a Girl," from the Flower Drum song.
Wow.
Musical.
That's like a Rodgers and Hammerstein kind of Broadway show, a movie. Yeah, I remember that song. I remember that.
Before that, I went to Centennial Avenue School. There were 3 or 4 elementary schools in our neighborhood, in our area. And then we would graduate from the elementary school in 6th grade.
Yes.
And then we would attend Roosevelt High School, which was a senior high school. So we were there from 7th to 12th grade.
Wow.
And when I was in 7th grade, Eddie Murphy went to my school. He was in 12th grade. I forgot about Eddie Murphy.
Oh, girl.
Right.
Girl.
But in Centennial, so back to your question, my principal, his name was Mr. McElwain. He was going to have a talent show. And he announced it, and I told my mom when I got home. I was like in 1st grade. Yeah. And she said, "You go there the next day and you tell him that you know how to sing." Ooh. And I don't even think I knew how to sing. But I did what my mother told me to do. She said, "Go talk to Mr. McElwain." So I remember, and I tugged his, because he always had on a fly jacket. Okay. He looked good, and he had his afro and his mustache and his glasses. And I said, "My mother said I'm supposed to let you know I know how to sing, and I'm supposed to be on the talent show."
Right.
And he looked at me and said, "Okay." And that's really where it started. I sang "Somewhere Over the Rainbow."
Wow. How old were you?
7.
You've been singing since 7?
My mom used to have me sing in the living room, and she would have me keep walking farther back in the house until I was on the back porch, and she pulled the window up, and she kept saying, "I can't hear you. Sing from your diaphragm.
Wow.
I can't hear you. Sing out." That's where it started. Awesome. Caribbean family? Girl, yes. My father's from Antigua, West Indies.
Yes. Because that whole living room thing, I felt that. That's what.
Really, the living room?
The West Indian family, the cultures, especially in New York, you always provided the entertainment in the living room.
You are so right.
Yes, you gotta.
So that's not everybody. That's just the Caribbean.
I think so. I think it's just us because we always did that too. My mother's Jamaican, so I understand.
They pull back the coffee table.
Move it out to slide it out the way. Whether it's dance or recite a poem or sing or do something.
Life for me ain't been no crystal stair.
Yeah. It was after they eat. They want a little entertainment. Yeah, and they call you, "Rhonda, come." And sing, right? Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, my mom is not from the Caribbean. My parents met in New Jersey when my father moved here. He turned 16 years old, moved here from Trinidad. So he grew up in Antigua, then his years in Trinidad, and then to Newark, New Jersey.
Wow.
And then they moved to Long Island. And he managed a band called the New York Soul Syndicate, right?
Sounds spicy.
It was spicy. They had the big afros and the bell bottoms and the vest where, you know, the whole chest is showing and the medallion with the Scorpio.
Oh my goodness. And the shirt was open down to the navel, almost down there.
Man bosoms.
Yeah.
And chest hair and all of that. But they rehearsed in our basement. And so I was hearing all the sounds, and they were a cover band. So they were performing songs from Earth, Wind & Fire or the Commodores. Yeah. And my father was about showmanship. So he had the horn section. There were about 12 of them. And his lead singers were Robin S., who say, "You got to show me love."
She was just in town the other day.
Okay, she lives here.
Oh,
I saw her a couple of weeks ago.
She performed. Yeah.
That's what you meant.
Yeah. I didn't realize she lived here. Wow.
Yeah. And Vesta actually performed with him first. Remember Vesta?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes. They used to confuse her with Jackie Harry a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but she was. She could really sing. She did McDonald's commercials and all kinds of stuff.
I remember.
Yeah, but, she was good. Wow.
So yeah, they rehearsed in our basement, and I was just soaking all of that up. My father never knew I could sing. I don't know what age he knew I could sing, because then my parents divorced. Okay. And because of that, my mother was not trying to have people rehearsing in the basement. Okay. But I got all of that. And from Roosevelt, which was a complete artistic incubator. I was in the jazz bands, playing clarinet. I was drum majorette. It's so funny to talk about yourself, because I don't get to do this unless I'm in a platform like this.
This is beautiful, because we would have never known. And me being in New York, I would have not known there was such a vibe in Long Island. Girl. Not, we heard of Freeport. You hear of it, but not Roosevelt. And the fact that there was so many different iconic people, legendary people now that you had access to, and the sounds was the same. Shouts out to New York as a whole, right? Because it's just a beautiful city. The culture was everywhere. We just didn't know. Right. And being young kids, me in the Bronx, I had no way to get to Long Island. I barely had a way to get to Manhattan. That's the best I can do. Really couldn't do Brooklyn. That was really out of pocket. But so just to understand that everybody was vibing to the same kind of energy.
We would go to Harlem. That's why I wore my shirt today. Go to Harlem and just sit out there in the park, and people would be performing and playing congas and the Caribbean music. Yes. The Latin music, the pulse of the city, New York, Long Island. We had access to all of that, and my village, they cultivated that in me, and I love them for it. I was just acknowledged yesterday. It's so funny. Right before getting ready for this, I'm looking on social media, and I'm like, okay, what's the Roosevelt history, Black history moment? It was me.
Wow. What? Shouts out to Roosevelt, honoring Rhonda Thomas for Black History Month. That's it. Yes. That's what's up. So even though there was so much culture, you had a village there in Roosevelt, Long Island. How did you leave? How did we come to know you today? But give me some of that in between. How did you leave?
Let me see. So through Roosevelt, singing, performing at the Apollo Theater.
Look at that.
As a youngin'. I sang Home from the Wiz there.
Oh, man, of course you did.
New York State Summer School of the Arts.
Nice.
Where I was singing a lot of classical music.
Wow.
Because I kind of missed that part. My father played the calypso. He also played James Brown, War. Because he was trying to be a true American, and to him, Americans play James Brown.
Yeah, we listened
and my mom was playing the Nancy Wilson, the Al Jarreau, all of that goodness. Nice. And so, New York State Summer School of the Arts, I got a scholarship to go there. Nice. And it was under the tutelage of the Metropolitan Opera. And so we learned so much. And they would even take us on field trips, because we were there for maybe a week. Yeah. And we got to see Al Jarreau, my first time seeing Al Jarreau. I was hooked, because I could see he had all these different styles that he was able to infuse in his music. Okay, so let me see. Fast forward. Went to Hampton University.
HU?
HI, boom, 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 U. Because it was Hampton Institute University then.
Okay.
Before it was Hampton University. And I know there's all the, Howardites in the audience. We're real HU.
Yeah, that's where that comes from.
We're
talking about Hampton, so fall back, Howard, just for a minute. Okay.
So I was a music major there.
Okay.
And I was partying way too much.
Were you? What?
The one thing Roosevelt and my mom did not prepare me for was the infusion or the extra that I'd have to focus on my studies, but yet be with the marching band and all the away games. And I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to navigate that.
Oh, wow.
So I wasn't going to graduate from there. So as much as I loved being involved in all of that, I had to leave Hampton.
You had to leave. You was partying?
I was partying. I didn't want to disrespect my family and my culture.
Ooh.
And I was a music major.
Yes.
And I loved that, but I felt like I wanted something else.
Okay.
That I could not fall back on, but that I could have both lanes. And I went to CW Post, Long Island University.
Okay.
Which is in New York. And I was a speech pathology major.
Really?
Speech pathology and feeding. But I still kept singing. Went to New York, still sang at the Apollo, still hung out at the garage because I loved all styles of music. So that was my house vibe. Love dance. That was my jam. Okay? I was at the garage right before it closed.
Oh, man.
Dating myself again.
Okay, yeah. While you were doing the garage, I was in Zanzibar.
Okay.
Because I went to school in New Jersey.
Okay.
And so those ends didn't always meet. I thought about the toll. Even back then, the tolls were only $1.50, $1.75, $2. I'm aging myself because it ain't nothing like that now. And I can only go to the garage on holidays, like when I was home for the holidays. But man, what a vibe. So Zanzibar kind of, mimicked the same energy from the garage.
Definitely.
So I felt like I was still in the numbers. I was still in the space, but yeah.
And you were getting the same music.
Yeah, same music. Yeah, and the same performers. Because if they went there, sometimes they would hear Jersey. Yeah, I was getting CeCe Rogers and all that kind of stuff. It was awesome. So yeah, those were some really great days. So house was your thing.
House was my thing. I loved jazz. I loved R&B.
Yes.
I loved funk. I loved soul. I loved soca. I loved reggae.
Yeah.
I loved the classical music. And then house. That was my heart. And then what happened? I went to CW Post, Long Island University. Then I went and got a master's degree in Connecticut at Southern Connecticut State University.
All right.
Really had to hunker down.
Yeah.
But I still wanted to sing.
Yeah. Okay, that wasn't going away.
Yeah. So I was singing in clubs there. Singing in clubs in New York, singing in clubs in Connecticut.
So when did the singing for you really be like pop for you and you say, you know what? Speech pathology, doing that, having those degrees were really great, but I really want to sing. When did that really hit you?
I think I did both the whole time.
The whole time.
I did both. I never stopped singing. Even when I was in graduate school, I was singing. And then I moved here to Atlanta, and I got a great job with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I was singing at a jam session, and someone said, "Do you want to sing background for Issac Hayes?" Just like that.
Just like that.
And I said, no.
Why?
Because I had a job and I was trying to be responsible. And I had
now she wants to be responsible. Now she wants to be responsible.
I could, because it was not just sing background. It was, we're going on a European tour.
Yes.
How am I going to leave my job? So I have a black mother. So I told my black mother. And my black mother said, "Are you crazy?
Yes. You
go tell them at work that you have this opportunity." And I'm thinking,
you take a leave of absence. Yeah.
And sure enough, they were like, "Oh, you're going to Europe? This is great. Sure." And that's where that was born. And I had been with him for 11 years.
No regrets. Aren't you glad you did that?
I'm really glad. I will say this. I was comfortable. It was familiar. I loved traveling. I loved what it afforded me as far as being able to work still during the week, 4 days a week, because we traveled a lot on the weekends with Isaac. So I did both. But I think 11 years was a long time.
That is a long time. But didn't it go by quickly, though, Rhonda?
It did, but at that time, I had already put out 2 of my own individual albums.
Okay.
And I couldn't work them because I was working with him. And Breathe New Life was the second album, and it really did well overseas. And I should have been working that album. But Issac was so cool because he shouted out my album. He let me sing with him on his song "Do Your Thing." He would shout out my website on stage. So it's hard to know what you should do. Yeah, it's hard to know when to leave and just go off on your own. So. Sometimes I regret that I didn't just take that leap of faith and leave everything and just say, okay, I'm going to pursue this career. And then on the other hand, I look at what happened during the pandemic and I'm like, whoa, I have a whole nother career. And some of my friends that are in music, everything has come to a halt.
How about that?
So you talked about when did you know you were going to sing? I kept doing both.
You kept doing both. And and we have to, you being with Issac, I'm sure you learned so many things, right? Just the business. And he seems like, we're on the outside looking in. He seems like a pretty decent guy, but you got to learn the business and what goes on and traveling and going international and all that comes with it. So now when you step away from that, the business.
Right. I know how things are supposed to be run. I know how you're supposed to talk to your staff. I know there's going to be things that happen on every level as far as sound or lighting, snafus and all of that.
Right.
But I meet so many people, Michelle, that are just so vain.
I'm going to sing Carly Simon in a minute.
You're so vain. I was like, was Carly Simon vain? I didn't know she was vain. But the song,
when the song just pops, I'm just going to sing it. Really?
And of course, in this game, a lot of times that vanity is insecurity. It is. And so I didn't feel any of that from Issac. I never did. And he could have been that dude.
Yeah, could have.
He will give you the shirt off his back. He gave me his coat.
Well, most of the times he didn't have no shirt on, Rhonda.
Girl,
when
come on now.
When he was performing, he didn't, from what I remember, just the chains, and that sexy ball head.
Yes. And a smart man.
Very smart.
An educated man, well-spoken.
It's good.
Songwriter, great ideas. He was the voice of the chef on South Park. So we had to sing that song, Chocolate Salty Balls. I could have had that part of my life out. But, it's all part of the story. Chocolate Salty Balls.
Yeah.
Do you know that song?
But I'm not going to sing that. I'm not going to sing that on the thing. I'm not going to sing that song. I'm not going to sing that on the show. No, no way. So 11 years, and so now you decided, listen, I'm not going to do this with Issac anymore. So how do you really fuel your own career?
So I didn't get to say, I'm not going to do this with Issac anymore. The forces of nature actually happened. Right before he passed, I went up to him and I said, would you record your song "Do Your Thing" with me? We sing that already on your show. And he said, how many years you been with me? I said 11. And he said, of course I'll do that. So we went into his studio and we recorded "Do Your Thing." Nice. It was just such a great, awesome experience. Nice. He was about to do a Stax reunion tour, so we were getting ready for that. But with "Do Your Thing," that was supposed to be my platform, according to him, where we would be able to use that as an outlet to have radio stations and people hear me through him. Right. And then he passed away. And that was the end of that journey, that situation. And I was forced to just do Rhonda at that point.
Right. So how did you get it going? How did you get Rhonda going after Issac?
Well, Rhonda was really going before, so that was a good thing. But at that point, I guess I'm looking at my albums here now. I think I still, Listen was 2010, so Listen was after Issac, I think.
I'm going to grab all
It's hard to remember now. 2012, I think, was Listen.
Hold some of these up, like we had this one.
Right, so that one is Rhonda Reimagined, but that's not going to be the cover. That was recorded live at 800 East Studios in 2019, and when you start asking me about what my next venture is, we'll talk about that.
We'll get there. I love this cover.
So start backwards. Go
from the very one.
Yeah, that was the first one. That was Guess Who I Saw Today, which is a straight ahead album, myself and Michael Coppola. He was a guitarist, or is a guitarist in Connecticut. told you I never stopped singing.
Never stopped singing.
We would perform in coffee houses as a duo, and we recorded
She's so cute. Rhonda's cute.
Cover tunes, all jazz standards.
Love it. Then the next one. Ooh.
Breathe New Life.
We look spicy on this one.
That was that's my Atlanta album. That's where, when I moved here in 96, and I was on the scene with the group Jiva, Sirius B, Groovement, I realized, whoa, I can infuse what I do, my jazz, my R&B, and I can be Nadia Davenport, Brand New Heavies, Incognito, Soul to Soul, and I can infuse my music into that. So that's Breathe New Life. Go back one. Yep. Then Listen was next. A takeoff from Breathe New Life. Thank you.
This is beautiful.
Soul, jazz.
I like
that
the
cover,
back,
yes, kind of cool.
Yeah.
Meg Pukel.
You're gorgeous.
Took those pictures. Thank you, love. Thank you.
You're gorgeous. And you're nice.
Thank you.
You're always a sweetie.
I think my Roosevelt posse would beat me up
if you weren't a nice person.
Yeah.
I was thinking your mom. I think your mom would check you.
Oh, everybody would check me. Everybody would. You would check me. You wouldn't have me here.
Well, yes and no. Yes and no, because, this is legendary work, Rhonda. The fact that you've been in the business for so long, a lot of people don't make it that long. I'm touching 5 albums, 5 CDs. Like, some people have one and they're done.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's in their control, sometimes it's not. So the mere fact that you have been submerged in the culture, dancing, singing, you've worked with very iconic people. We're going to talk about that too. I want to talk about that too, because I see you in these spaces and you're not on the stage by yourself.
Not at all.
And it's a beautiful thing. We're going to get to it. So I love this album cover. I love this one. You're so cute.
I love that too, but I think that one's next.
The Christmas one?
I think so. Yeah, this one's next.
The Christmas one.
That was produced by Al Ross, Tony White, Mark Nelson. Ron Smith was one of the executive producers. And we have some original material on there where I have a duo with Eric Roberson.
Yeah.
Which is near and dear to my heart. And Alex Lattimore, who sang in the group Jiva with me.
I think I came into your life around here, this CD, this album, this CD, and this one, because I saw you perform this at Ebenezer.
Oh wow! Okay.
That's when I fell in love, and I knew your manager first.
Okay.
The incomparable Ron Smith.
Smith.
And I met him first through some people, because we would always go out and. Shouts out to Sylvia Brown. Awesome
photographer.
Awesome person. And she'd have these get-togethers, and she invited me. I met her. It's just 6 degrees of separation, right?
Yeah, especially in Atlanta.
What it is. And so what it was, let me tell you how I met Rhonda. So I went to Record Store Day.
At Moods Music?
At Moods Music. Shouts out to Jarreau Harris. We love Moods Music.
Yes, we do.
And so I went there, and the vibe, the energy was so beautiful. And Sylvia was sitting up front. Always up front. She was up front, and she was front and center. And I saw her, and we just kind of connected. She was just giving everybody love in the room. And she was like, you need to go to this tribute. Yeah, it'll be at Apache Cafe. Right? And it's, Hot Ice Live, Ken Beatty, the whole tribute
thing. It wasn't Yin
thing.
Yang back then?
Wasn't Yin. It was Yin Yang. It was Yin Yang.
Okay.
Might have been. And I said, okay. And I went up on my ticket. We were in the space like this. And you came. You were performing.
Wow.
And I thought the show was phenomenal. I thought it was great. And we ended up, most of us took a group picture at the end. You might have been in. I have to go back and try to find it. And I've been like, I like her.
Thank you, love.
You sung Phase On. I think you sung Riding High with the guy, and you sung some other stuff, but it was really a collection of music that Ken Beatty would have played through each decade, like from maybe the 60s or 70s and the 80s and 90s, and it was beautiful.
Thank you.
And that's where I saw you, and I was like, oh. And then I would have some lunch with Sylvia and Ron talk about, Rhonda Thomas she's an excellent singer. And I just started following. So I think I started following you somewhere around in here. Definitely saw you performing this, and then the Vinyl Days.
Yes, Vinyl Days was produced by Kyrie Simmons, Kyrie Cabral Simmons, who is the leader of the group Jiva that I was a part of for years when I moved here in '96, and Daz IQ, Darren Benjamin, and Julius Speed played keys on that, and so those were the three producers of that album, and that has like a Quincy Jones
vibe to it.
It was the brainchild
and
of
you're
Ron
beautiful
Smith.
here in the back too.
Thank you. That was Ron's creation.
Yeah, this is awesome. Do you like singing, writing, performing? What's your favorite out of those?
Singing, writing, performing. So what do you mean when you say performing?
When you perform, do you like doing it in front of an audience, or do you like recording in the studio? What is your
my jam?
What is your jam?
I like to write when I'm moved to write.
Okay.
I'm not one that's going to write every day, and I'm trying to change that. I need to do that more. I love singing, but I love performing. I need an audience. I feel their energy. It's an experience. It's never just me singing, and that's how this album was born. My recorded music, people tell me they love it, but it's the live performance where it becomes electric. It's an experience. We decided we would record a live album. So they are remakes of, well, not even really remakes. They're just the live version of those songs with a couple of original songs on there.
Beautiful. I love it.
We recorded that live at 800 East. Darren Benjamin, Daz IQ, he was at the helm.
That's a nice space.
Smith was there. Yeah, they had earphones.
Yeah.
Because it was in the sound studio and it was recorded live. We did 2 different shows, and that was the product.
It's a nice space. Congratulations on this.
We'll be releasing that in April.
That's only 2 months away.
It is.
It's around the corner.
Yes,
the timing of this has been phenomenal. This is really good. I want to talk to you about Sisters in Song.
Yes.
How did that come about for you?
Well, you mentioned that you have interviewed Kathleen Bertrand. So that is her baby. Sisters in Song. Myself, Julie Dexter, Deion Ferris, and Kathleen were performing at the Rialto for a Nina Simone tribute that Russell Gunn had put together.
Beautiful.
So that's how we came together, and we've been inseparable ever since. Yeah, we had done other shows with Russell at the Atlanta Jazz Festival, another Nina Simone tribute, and then I don't know, you probably know better than me, if Kathleen had this idea years ago and then it just came together, but we were the original Sisters in Song. So it was Kathleen, Julie Dexter, Chandra Corelli, our dear friend who passed away, Teresa Hightower, and I'm missing someone, Pamela Dillard. She sings classical music. And so lately it's been myself, Kathleen, and Julie Dexter. And she will sometimes bring in other artists like Carmen Bradford or Brenda Nicole Moore. Amber Iman. I think those are all the people that she's brought in.
I've seen your Sisters in Song performance more than once, but I loved it at the Ray Charles Theater Auditorium at Morehouse a couple years ago. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
I love all these opportunities that I have to keep Rhonda in the fold, but to branch out and perform with others, because I so appreciate that energy. It allows me to do different things and just move and flow and ebb and let go. I don't have to worry about too much when I'm singing with Kathleen. She's taking care of the band.
That's true.
She's taking care of the venue. I just have to show up in a gown
and just be Rhonda.
Pick my songs, do my makeup, and make it easy and flowy.
And then you guys did do Sister in Song at the Jazz Festival.
We did.
And
Julie
that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Thank you. That was a Sarah Vaughan tribute. That Kathleen put together.
That was so good. And you know what it is? What I really appreciate the fact, Rhonda, is that your career has allowed you to be in front of different settings. So we can never get tired or bored, right? Because you're at the jazz festival, you're at churches, you're at festivals. You did the South Fulton Festival last year, right? They celebrated their 5th year of being a city, right? And so they thought so much of you to have you there, and it was awesome. So it's like you're in different places so people can get a whiff of who you are. Absolutely. Right? It's an awesome opportunity.
And I love the fact that I can sometimes just perform like I did here 2 days ago with myself and a keyboardist, Al Smith, who wrote a lot of songs on some of these albums. And I can perform in front of 30,000 people with this band that I often perform with, the String Cheese Incident. Yeah. They're a jam band out of Colorado, and they're phenomenal. Yeah. We perform every year at in Live Oak at Halloween. It's called Swanee Halloween. Okay. And there's all different artists, lots of different stages. Anderson .Paak has been there. Trying to think. Jamiroquai, the Marley Brothers.
You just been everywhere. You just been doing it. Tell me, what did it feel like for you being on the main stage for the Jazz Festival this past year? That was, first of all, you killed it.
Thank you.
You crushed it. Shouts out to your sound guy, which was Leon Smith.
Leon Smith. He's always there.
Shouts out to him. He loves doing your shows. Yeah. He loves doing your shows.
Good guy. Yeah. Great heart and talented brother. Will do anything for anyone. Yeah. Good guy. Thank you for shouting him out. So as you mentioned, I had performed on the stage.
Yes, you
with
have.
Lots of artists throughout the year.
Yes, you have.
And in 2019, actually, was my first year performing with my band. So that was like a breakout year for me.
Yeah, it was.
I had maybe a 10-piece band. I had a horn section, background singers. It was phenomenal. I got to sing my Fela songs. I love Fela, some second line music.
It was so nice.
Oh, it was a dream come true.
It was awesome. We had a good time. You look great too.
And so right after me, Russell Gunn performed with the Crunk Jazz
Orchestra.
Yeah,
that was nice.
And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And everything shut down.
And we missed you for 2 years. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, I performed for that South Fulton Fest. And then Camille called me and asked me to perform again at the Atlanta Jazz Festival. So that was last year. Yeah. And again, I never take it for granted when someone offers me these phenomenal opportunities, and for her to think of me, to call me for that. I think one of the other main artists backed out or wasn't able to do the festival. So she called me and I was on board. Right. I was ready.
He was ready.
There. Yeah. And my team was with me. It was awesome.
Atlanta Jazz Festival is huge.
It is huge.
And it's iconic. It's like 35 years, 40 years in existence. It's been going for years, and they've always had, just to set the stage, there's always been 2 stages in some cases, so that when we say the main stage, we're talking the one right off from 10th and Charles Allen. As soon as you come in, you can hear the music blocks away, and people are there from early in the morning, and we look beautiful as a city.
Don't we?
We look beautiful as a culture, right, to just support jazz music, and it's not just jazz, it's different types of genre of music, and you bring that different flavor, and we receive that.
Thank you.
You're like our own, even though you're from Freeport, Long Island. Yeah.
Roosevelt.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Roosevelt, Long Island.
Roosevelt,
Long Island. Atlanta has embraced you as, their sunshine. Like you're their girl. You're our girl. And so when we see you do things, we just come out and support.
And I feel the love.
We love you, Rhonda.
It is a village. And one of the best things about being able to perform on the festival was being able to give the gift of my music and have it received. It's like when I record my individual songs, they're my babies. They're my kids. Yeah. And to have people accept them, that's huge to me. So
I think it's the way that you present it, Rhonda, because you're so diverse, right? We can't pigeonhole you in one category or one type of music. And I think that's just in your upbringing and what you like and what you've been exposed to. So even when you present it to us, it's always tasteful. It's always palatable. It's always fun. We want to dance. We want to sing along with you, or we want to listen intently, so it's the package that you've brought to us over these years have been incredible.
I think it's so important important to have a connection to the music, to the song, so that you can convey that to the audience. Ron is always telling me before I hit the stage, make it feel like cognac, make it feel warm.
That's nice.
Make a connection, and that's easy to do when the sound is great. That's number one.
Yes.
When your band and your musicians have your back.
They do.
When you feel comfortable about your look. I mean, sometimes it's an up and down thing. You know, I go through my weight. Sometimes it's a problem, but I've learned to embrace who I am, and
You're
I love
beautiful.
all these curves.
You're beautiful.
And, you know, I love all these dimples in my thighs, and I love the way the hips sway, and I can wear my onion flowy dresses from Whitney Merrow.
Yes, you look great in those dresses too.
Thank you.
Everything you put on, you look good. So that's not an issue. But I understand. I understand how you feel, because you have to be comfortable in the skin that you're in, right?
And I wanted to say that because it's real, and I think we should be transparent.
Yes.
And people shouldn't think that, you know, you're just up on this stage and everything is great. No, sometimes
not.
you need to feel that positive energy from your audience.
You do.
So
You do.
I get that.
And it's there. It's there for you, because you're just a bundle of joy. You're just a beautiful person inside and out. And even before we've gotten to this opportunity, even as a fan, when I see you, you would always, you hug people. You're always excited that people take time to come out and be a part of your show. No, we don't have to, but we want to be.
Go anywhere.
We can go anywhere.
You don't have to come hear me.
Yeah.
So I am so grateful. So grateful.
Is there anybody you'd like to perform with that you haven't?
I would say I want to work with Salam Remy, the producer, because he is that guy that has been able to take the best from an artist and just have them blossom. From Amy Winehouse, Faith Evans,
everybody.
I'm trying to think of other people he's worked with.
It's a nice collection or palette of people he's worked with.
Fugees,
yeah.
Jasmine Sullivan,
everyone,
hip hop artists, Shabba Ranks. No, for real, he's worked with everybody, and I feel like he would get me. I saw the Amy Winehouse documentary where they worked together in his home, and it wasn't just, oh, sing this song, or oh, we're just gonna write this. He felt her energy, and he was able to bring the best out of her, and I would love to work with him.
Yeah. Have you made that an affirmation?
No,
Have you put it out there?
I'm putting it out right now.
All right. Make
Salam.
Come on now. Let's go.
We got to do this.
Yeah, let's do it.
We need to work together. I am digging on you. Let's make it happen.
Make it happen. And I'm leaning in. Come on, management team, for Rhonda Thomas. Make that happen.
I love Chuck D to perform with me on his song.
Oh, that'd be spicy.
Yeah, maybe on one of my dance tracks. I just on this Rhonda Reimagined album, I have a new song. It's called For My Sisters, and DJ Kemet, who you need to have on your show.
Yes,
Kemet, we need to bring you on. Real Chicks Rock.
That's right. Come on, Kemet.
Yes.
I'd love to talk to him.
That song, I would love to have Chuck D come in and help me with my next venture, which will be dance music.
Yeah. They need to be playing it in the clubs. Come on, Rhonda. You're holding out on us.
Hey, it's coming. It's coming. One step at a time.
And you know, listen, this was good to have you, because you're typically everywhere. Like, you're doing different cities, you're in different venues. You're not always here in Atlanta.
No, we're real selective about where we perform in Atlanta. We may perform 6 times a year.
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
We perform a lot in North Carolina and Florida. They've really embraced us there. Atlanta's my spot, though. I mean, I consider myself an apple peach cobbler. Big apple, peach, Atlanta.
I'm going to borrow that
one. But I feel like we want folk to want to come and see.
That's right. Yeah.
We want it to be exciting for them.
Yeah.
So we want to give them something different, and we don't want to oversaturate the market by always singing here on a regular basis.
Right, which is good, which is true. This is why Christmas you were sold out.
We were in North Carolina, and we definitely had a really good crowd here in Atlanta. And we made sure that we performed first that day at the senior center, because we like to give back, and we love our seniors at the center. And then that night we had a show in Atlanta, and my friend Kyrie Simmons, he was on bass.
Always.
And I love Kyrie. He came in from Seattle to play with us. Some of the musicians I love, Mr. Tyrone Jackson on keys. I don't know if you know him, but he is also teaching over at Kennesaw and working on his doctorate.
Nice.
So that's
nice.
Little John Roberts. Yeah. He's performed on my albums. Yeah, I love working with him. Wellington Boo Britt, 6'7", 6'9". He's a tall brother, and he plays drums, and he has such great energy. Yeah. And so some of the other folk I want to work with, Salam Remy, Chuck D, yes, Gregory Porter.
Nice. I see that.
I'd love to perform with Simma Funk. Or Tank and the Bangers.
Tank and the Bangers. That would be cute.
Right?
That'd be awesome.
Love their energy. I love what they do.
Me too.
Simma Funk. Did I say Simma Funk? Yeah. Just these artists that people say there's no new music or no good music. I don't know what they're listening to. Yeah. But I'm all about the world music now. That's my thing. I love the percussive elements in music, and that's why I scat so much. And I want to infuse that in my dance music.
You know, she's passed, but I could have seen you doing something with Nancy Wilson.
My mom's favorite
artist. That could have happened easily, even if it was just a track or two. Easily, I could have seen that happen because
that first album, the song "Guess Who I Saw Today" is our ode to Miss Nancy Wilson. Yeah, and so
easily,
my mom was all about stand on stage, be still, be cool, like Nancy Wilson.
She was smooth, yeah.
And my father was like, "Nah, you take the mic out, you get down on one knee, you work the audience,
like
work
James
the crowd."
Brown. That's James Brown with one knee.
Man.
No.
I wish I could have worked with Al Jarreau.
Oh, yeah.
Because okay, so this is my quick Al Jarreau story. I am on the Tom Joyner morning show cruise, Tom Joyner cruise, with Issac Hayes' band. And we're in one of the auditoriums on the ship because we all had to sit in the auditorium, and then you go up on the stage to the left. I could see it. Go up on the stage to the left, give them your passport, get all your credentials. And as I'm walking back, I'm walking through the aisle, and Al Jarreau's on my left. And I'm passing him. I'm like, do I say anything? I can't. I'm just going to keep walking. I'm gonna keep walking. I don't know, but I did. And I said, Mr. Jarreau, I know everyone says this to you, but I'm a huge fan of you, of your work. And I got to see you when I was in New York State Summer School of the Arts. And then I started not knowing what to say. And so I felt crazy because I don't like really speaking a lot. So I just said, it has occurred to me that you don't see me. You won't see me. It has occurred to me that you don't see me. And he started singing with me. You won't see me. It has occurred. And when he started singing with me, he was like, and I was like, okay, bye. And I walked away. Because I was like, what? He's like singing. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to say, can I sing with you? Girl, I just walked away. But I got to hear him again another time on another cruise. But I would have loved to have worked with him.
You're so good. You just dropped that on us like that, Rhonda.
Thank you.
Oh.
That dude right there.
Man.
You know, he won Grammys in 3 different categories of, what was it? Let me get it right. Jazz, pop, and what's the last one? Jazz, pop. I can't think of it right now. But yeah. Must be R&B.
It must be
R&B, jazz, and pop. Grammys in all 3 areas. You just
dropped that little, I'm still marinating on the bars you just dropped on me with the little finger snapping like, girl.
I'm just glad I got to sing with him.
Yeah, you
did. I feel like that was my moment. You did. I didn't just walk away because I would have felt bad about that. But to have him join in, he was like, oh, you know my song.
Yeah.
It's like, yes. So I will always cherish that moment.
You're going to remember that forever. You're our girl, Rhonda. You know why? Because we hear you on 91.9 Morris Baxter and Morris in the Morning. Yeah. And I remember going out hearing you sing that, performing that live. I don't remember if that was his birthday or it was a New Year's Eve celebration, but you were the star performing. And I was like, she's so good.
Thank you. That might have been one of his birthday parties, maybe at Sweet Lounge or something.
So
CLK, let's talk about WCLK.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how it's so great to be in a city like Atlanta where you have access to a record store like a Moves Music, where you have access to venues like when we had Yin Yang, which is so iconic, and then you had a place to record your music and then have it played by a Ken Beatty at WCLK. Did you know Ken Beatty?
I didn't know him. I listened listen to him. I used to listen to Hot Ice every afternoon when I first got here in Atlanta. So I never had the opportunity to meet him, but heard great stories. When I talked to Jamal Ahmed,
that's what I was just about to mention.
I had him here when he celebrated 25 years of being in the business, and he just paid homage to Ken Beatty. So I know, and they have been, to me, the station has been the backbone or the core, and it allows us to connect, right?
Absolutely.
Because we feel like we know you because we hear you. We hear you on the station. We can turn you on and we can hear you, and they play your music, and it just humanizes, the artist. It just allows us to feel like we're community and we can connect.
Right.
And it's an honor to support you, because we hear you and we want to keep you on the vibe, right? We want to hear you on the airwaves. We want you to travel. We want you to keep going. So we support you. When you're here, we come out. That's what we do. So it's been...
And they afford us the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
They play our music to their listeners. They don't have to do that. Jamal Ahmed is a disciple of Ken Beatty. And he will say it all the time. And he is one of the reasons why we still have staying power. Because his show is syndicated and he can play our music everywhere and he loves to. When I performed with Jiva in London, Jamal came with us. It was myself, Anthony David, it was Jiva, Donnie. Donnie was on that show. Alex Lattimore.
Nice.
Shonda was on that show. And I say that because Jamal was there, and then I was able to perform my own show at a club there as well. But I feel like he's been such an integral part of this entire journey, and we couldn't do it without him.
Good guy.
And then Morris Baxter,
like Morris. Hey,
the song "Breathe New Life" is from the "Breathe New Life" CD. Yep, that one.
This one.
And I just reworked the lyrics and became Morris's song. Morris,
hit it
in the morning.
Right.
Wakes me up and gets me going. Oh, his voice is so smooth, brightens my mood. Breathe new life in me, new life in me.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. What's next for you? What cities are you planning to hit?
So we have a whole promotional tour that will take place once we drop that latest album, Rhonda Reimagined. And Ron actually was at the helm. I always have to shout out Ron Smith of our documentary. And it's Rhonda Welcome Home. Is it Welcome Home, Ron? Ron's over there. Welcome to my home.
Welcome to my home.
Welcome to my home. Rhonda Thomas. So that documentary will be out simultaneously with the album, which will be released in April. And then we will devise all of our tours around that.
Awesome. Awesome.
I got that right.
You got a good manager too. Ron's been doing some great work for you over the years, and
gotta have a good team.
Highly respected in the community. Shouts out to Ron Smith. Thank you, Ron, for just allowing us to have access to Rhonda through her music and through her venues and concerts and shows. So all the best to you there. How can the people find you, Rhonda Thomas?
You can go to my social media. You can go to my website, rhondasings.com. But all my social media platforms are I am Rhonda Thomas, and that's RHONDA Thomas. I am Rhonda Thomas.
Are you gonna give us a date on the social media, like a date
definitely
when this will be released, so we can get our copies?
Yeah. So at first we're actually releasing it through a specific organization that will funnel it.
Okay.
And the public will have access.
Just keep us posted, because I follow you. I follow you on Instagram, so I'm going to be looking, and we're friends on Facebook. So anytime you drop it, just anytime it drops, just let us know so we can follow, like, and share.
Thank you for what you do. All these special interest pieces, and I just watched Shannon.
Yes, I had him.
He took that picture of the Christmas album.
This one?
Yeah.
Shannon.
We have such a great artistic group of folk that are that we work with.
Yes.
So I'm always shouting people out.
Yes.
I'm always wanting to work with everyone.
He's a good guy.
Kemet. I'm mentioning Shannon. So
yes. Shannon, you did this. He's a good guy.
Isn't he?
I really enjoyed talking to him. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I enjoy it. It's just a platform that I wanted to create because I wanted people to have an opportunity to share their stories, right? It's very important. And all that you've done, look at this body of work. The years that you've been doing this, we want to continue to wish you nothing but continued success in everything that you do.
Thank you.
We want a little bit more writing. I'm putting it out there.
I have a journal. I need to get on that.
Yeah, a little writing. You can produce mentoring. There's some beautiful voices probably come in your life. You could just inspire the next generation of beautiful young songbirds like yourself.
I should speak to that real quick.
Yes, say it. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Ron has a foundation that he works through, a teen group, Audio Wolf.
Yes, I've seen them too.
Yes.
They're awesome.
So group of children that start as kids, and then he helps to funnel them into college.
It's a great program.
And they're just doing great things. I would say some of the names, but there's too many of them. Morgan Guerin and Curtis Oluwumi and Zaria, what's Larry's last name? Zaria Hall. So that's his brainchild.
Yeah.
And I felt like they've been my kids too because I've worked with them throughout the years.
Nice.
And that's Audio Wolf. And what's the other part of the name of your group? Come on, Ron.
Sound education.
Sound education.
There we go.
Ron's sitting over there. It's okay. Sound education experience.
Awesome.
And then my good friend Jay Fly has an organization called How Big Is Our Dream?
Nice.
It's Your Dream. And I work with the children.
So you're busy. You're giving back already. You're doing it already.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, I love it. And I'll continue to because you got to give back.
Yes.
It's important to do. You can't just hold all of this.
No, because that's not going to be, it's not going to be a good look for you at the end. And I just want to say, you're beautiful in person.
Thank you.
And you look just like your mom.
Oh, she's going to love to hear that.
Yeah, your mom is gorgeous, and she's out here supporting you too. Always.
She's always in the audience.
You guys,
and she'll be doing those like baseball moves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looking like sisters out here in these streets. She's a beautiful mom. Mom, thank you for all that you've done in pouring into Rhonda. It has paid off tremendously. We love you.
Thank you so much. I love you
You
too.
keep up the great work. That's my time here. Real Chicks Rock. You know me. You can find me everywhere. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We got the website, realchicksrock.com. Listen, I got something coming up with some beautiful women. Divine Trilogy. Save the date. It's April 21st through the 23rd in Miami. Keep us posted. We're going to post some more details coming up in the next week or so. Yes, but it's all about art, fashion, and community. And I love all three of those things. So we hope you can join us in the beautiful city of Miami, Florida. Until next time, I want to leave you with this. And especially Rhonda will appreciate it because she is from New York. And so she remembers listening to Frankie Crocker.
Oh!
107.5 WBLS. I loved him. And every night before he'd leave, he would say, may you live to be 100 and I live to be 100 minus a day. So I never know that beautiful people like yourself has passed away. Until next time, be well, take care, and continue to rock on. Thank you for checking out Real Chicks Rock Presents Real Discussions. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next show.